Well, it's time now to take a look at what's making the international newspaper headlines this Monday with our press reviewer, Nicholas Rushworth, who joins me now here in the studio.
Hi, Lorna.
Nicholas. So the US presidential election, perhaps inevitably, is dominating the international papers today.
And a piece that caught my eye was actually from Down Under in Australia. It's the Daily Telegraph in Sydney, and it's reporting that Romney's campaign is now a car crash. Romney, it says, is under sustained attack for falsely claiming US car jobs, Chrysler Jeep specifically, are heading for China. And this, the paper says, has become the defining story of the final days of this campaign. It's got negative media coverage for Romney in the key battleground state of Ohio especially.
OK, well, meanwhile, a cartoon in the Chinese press is also arguing that there is a car crash to come.
Well, sticking with that car crash theme, I spotted this in the China Daily. There you can see the two men, Obama and Romney, furiously running to the finish line in a bid to be the president for the next 4 years. And what do we see? We see the presidential limousine tipping off the edge of the fiscal cliff. That's how the China Daily is seeing things.
Well, that message about the fiscal cliff, which is, of course, those impending post-election economic problems, is covered in The Hill, which is a magazine based on Capitol Hill in Washington.
Well, there's a comment piece in The Hill today. You can see it online, and it says that no matter who wins, Obama or Romney, Americans all face a post-election crisis as soon as the first day of the new presidency. And that crisis is the fiscal cliff. Now, this fiscal cliff crisis goes back to the summer of 2011, if we remember, when the US debt ceiling was raised amid lots of kerfuffle and brouhaha. Once Congress returns in mid-November, it will have 6 weeks to address this issue. Now, what does it involve? It involves automatic spending cost cuts and automatic tax increases, which will come into force at the very start of 2013. That could in turn lead to a double-dip recession and send the US economy into a tailspin. So what do they need? They need bipartisan agreement. Now, there's no sign of that, according to the magazine The Hill, no sign in sight, and this is the next big thing in US politics. The Hill there, the writer there, says, are you laughing or are you crying?
Oh, well, perhaps we'll be laughing and crying over this next article in USA Today. They've been looking at the worst political adverts in this campaign, and there have been quite a few, haven't there?
Well, super PACs and all those political ads have been a major feature of this campaign, haven't they? The numbers are staggering. USA Today is saying that there were 2 million political ads in all. It would take a viewer 2 years to sit through them. And just to watch for one day would be a form of torture, it says. Now, it chooses 5 for criticism. Number 1 on that list is one by Obama, well, a series by Obama, in which he attacks Romney for various things, including for having a Swiss bank account, and then ends the ad with a divisive phrase, Mitt Romney, not for us. And the USA Today piece there is saying, well, he's an inclusive president, why be so divisive? In terms of criticism against Romney, the choice of worst political ad is that one about the Ohio ads, Jeep, Chrysler Jeep, theoretically sending jobs to China, and of course the reality is that Chrysler Jeep is actually going to create 1,000 and more jobs in the US.
OK, so that has certainly been a big feature of this campaign, perhaps one that people will be glad to see the back of come November the 7th. But moving on, one of the factors that's also been in the finals, we've been seeing in the final stretch, is the fatigue of these two guys. They've been crisscrossing the states. They're absolutely exhausted. And you saw a piece in the Daily Mail that they might be interested in.
Well, maybe they should turn to a professional cuddler. This is something that the Daily Mail is reporting on about a young woman in Rochester, New York, who's offering for $60 an hour a few cuddles. Maybe that would be of use too.
They look quite intimate cuddles, though,
well,
don't they?
The one guy who's the customer of the professional cuddler says, well, she helped him with a breakup. It is meditative and not personal, if I can say that. And of course, if Romney or Obama loses, they might want to turn to that as a bit of just the ticket kind of therapy for the loser on the day. And just to end this morning about the whole US election campaign, just to point point out that on France 24, our website, we've got fantastic coverage across the board. And I like this one especially. It's all about the tweets, how many tweets per minute the two men are getting, and Obama in the lead there at the moment. But as we know from our news bulletins, it is really neck and neck. It's down to tiny, tiny points now, isn't it?
And it's going to be very exciting on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Paris time, as we see those results come in. Thank you very much indeed, Nicholas, for that look at today's international press.